Alright, so this is 3.8, solving for certain variables. This is definitely a good skill we're going to need. So let's get rolling. I'll just have a few examples to show you. This is an important skill yet to be able to solve for a particular variable. It's going to be super helpful in Chapter 5 when we have equations like this one here, x plus y equals 3. It's going to be important for us to get that into what we call slope-intercept form. So we're going to want to get this y by itself. So if we do that, we would subtract the x over. So it would become this. It's going to be critical to be able to do that and to be able to do that pretty easily. Okay? So there definitely are some good things about solving for variables. All right, I start off with a super basic one here. We got d equals rt, and let's say we just want to solve it for the rate. The reason why we might solve it for the rate is maybe they give us the distance and they give us the time, and we want to just figure out the rate. So we want to solve for the rate, then we just want to get rid of everything else. So we notice that that's being multiplied by the t, so we just undo that, which is the opposite of multiplication, division. And so final answer, it would be r equals d divided by t. That's it. So that one's easy. All right, second example, let's say we want to solve this for y. So we're kind of narrowing in, we got to focus on the y here, trying to get this by itself, and we got to pretty much get rid of everything else. Well, we notice that we have a 2x here, that we got to get rid of, and that's a positive 2x. So if you want to move it over to the other side, if it's positive, then you got to do the opposite of that, which is minus. So we're going to go ahead and subtract 2x from each side. So if we do that, on the right-hand side, see, we can't combine those. We can't say, that's 6x or anything like that. They're totally different. 8 doesn't even have any x's, negative 2 does. So our answer here so far would be like 8 minus 2x. Or you could write negative 2x plus 8, either one. But you definitely cannot combine those. Now, these cancel out, and that leaves us with minus 4y. A lot of people forget about this little minus here. You don't want to. Okay, so minus 4y. So we're still trying to get the y by itself. We notice that we have a negative 4 that's being multiplied by the y. So we just divide both sides by negative 4. So divide by negative 4. That's going to cancel out the negative 4, and that's going to isolate the y. So y equals basically everything on the right-hand side, or you could simplify this a little bit. You could, instead of writing just this, you could actually take the 8 and divide it by negative 4, so that would be negative 2. And then you could take this, and you could also divide it by negative 4. Look at the two negative signs, negative, negative here. So that's going to be positive. And 2 divided by 4, it's actually a half if you reduce it. So it would be 2 plus 1/2 x. That would be one possible answer we could get out of this. Probably should go with the white. That's a little better. Okay. So that's about the best we can do. We could say the answer is y equals 1/2 x minus 2, or just leave it like that. Okay, that would be very close to slope-intercept form. The only thing, again, we put the 1/2 x first. All right. Next example, let's say, and I didn't want to have even one step done, but I printed it like that. So we're trying to solve this one for b. I need a black instead of white. So solve this for b. So here's what we're focusing on. We've got to get rid of all the other junk. Well, we're going to have to add 4z, because you notice it's a minus 4z. We're also going to have to get rid of that 7 on the bottom, and then we'll be able to isolate it. So the first thing to actually do when it's in this form is you got to get rid of that 7 on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply by 7. It's being divided by 7 right now, so let's multiply by 7. If you multiply by 7, you would then notice that those 7's would cancel out, and it would leave you with just the top. So it would be b minus 4z. On the right-hand side, it would be 7 times a, so that would be good. And then we're still trying to get the b by itself, so you got to get rid of that minus 4z. So go ahead and add 4z. So we add 4z. that cancels out, and then you have b equals, now these are not like terms. 7a is not the same as 4z, so you can't add them. So we're going to say that our answer would be 7a plus 4z, and that's the best we can do. We just isolate the variable that they want us to isolate. We don't worry that it looks funny if it has different variables. We're using the exact same steps that we used when we were solving our equations before. Okay. All right, let's try this guy. This is the perimeter of a rectangle. Its perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, and we're trying to solve it for w. So we're going to do whatever it takes to get the w by itself. So zero in on the w here, and we need to get rid of all this junk. We need to get rid of the 2l, we need to get rid of the 2. So first thing to do would be to get rid of this 2l, and it's a positive 2l. So we're going to need to subtract it. So we're going to subtract 2l from both sides. So we have, on the right-hand side, you can't combine those because that's a p and that's an l, and there's no combining there. They're not like terms. So we have p minus 2l. And then on the right-hand side, that would be 2w. Now, we still haven't got the w completely by itself because we got this 2 in front of it. So it's being multiplied, so we're going to go ahead and divide. We're going to divide both sides by 2. Divide by 2. Those 2's cancel out, and you're left with w. And I would just rewrite that, p minus 2l divided by 2. And that's an okay answer. If you wanted to take the p and divide it by the 2, you can do that, minus. So one other way you could write this, I'm going to say that's the answer. Or you could take each of them and divide. So p divided by 2, so it'd be p divided by 2, and then minus, and then the 2's could cancel out. So that would be like, let's see, what would that be? That would be p minus l. Yeah, p minus l. And then equals, and then the right side would be w. So I'm going to say that's a good answer, isolating the w. And I'm also going to say that that's a good answer. All right? Last example. If you had an airplane and you were able to fly around the Earth, around the equator without stopping, you would have traveled 24,900 miles. Find the diameter of the Earth. Well, what we could do is we could use the circumference of a circle. Or, well, yeah, the circle, because we're just kind of slicing the middle of the Earth there. So circumference equals pi times the diameter, and they give us the circumference. So it's 24,900, and we just have to solve for the diameter. So it's just 24,900 divided by pi, and I think that's approximately, I forget, 7,930 miles. So that's 7,930 miles. And I should put my units in here. Let's see, circumference. That's all right. Circumference is in miles. So these are all miles. Yeah, I'm going to leave them out that time. All right. So there we go. So that should be good for solving, and we'll try to work on some problems tomorrow. So bring your books again, please.